a majority. Obviously, I think we had 3 possessions in the first half, but you're right, in the first quarter, to not be down any more than we were, it was a big deal.
Hutch.
I think maybe they might need to. I can't hear them very good.
Yes, Sam. What was your message at halftime? What do you think led to that dramatic turnaround?
Well, the players did, but I've been coaching a long time, and 13 points. It's not like we were down 50, and our locker room felt a little down whenever. So I just said, "Hey, look, man, we're going to get the ball. We're going to go score. Your defense going to hold them. We're going to be up before you know it. Just keep the faith." Our defense had kind of figured them out a little bit late in the second quarter. Our offense had just shot themselves in the foot. The Tennessee had done a nice job on defense, and we'd missed a field goal. But, it's all – I told them the mind's so powerful, and your mind needs to tell you that we're going to go win the game, and here's how we're going to do it. And I didn't want to see any negative, I didn't want to see any heads hanging or anything like that because it was only a 13-point game.
Sam, the first drive of the third quarter, you went 4-4 on third down conversions and scored. How big was that to kind of get the flow going?
Well, it was huge, and I think a bunch of them where we turned around and handed it off to Boyd or Traylon Smith, and I tell you, I was really proud of our offensive line. Sometimes statistics, they'll have sacks and this, that, and the other, but I'm proud of that group. They're coming on, they're getting better. We're almost at 200 yards again this week, and I'm just really proud of the guys coaching the O-line and the way our O-line is playing.
Scotty.
Yeah, Coach, in the third quarter, your offense scores 24 points. Defense gives up 16 yards. Was that your guys playing their best ball?
I think they played pretty good. I mean, 24 points and 16 yards. I tell you what, momentum's so, what momentum is, and we had it. And we rode it at least all the way through the third quarter, and our defense was on shutdown, in the second half. And when they went 1 for 8 on third down, that's big, but it was manageable. We were able. It wasn't 3rd and 1s. It was 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. We got a chance.
Nikki.
Coach, did you guys make a concerted effort to take bigger shots in the third quarter, or is that just kind of what came up, or was it because you realized maybe in the first half Tennessee might eat up so much time that you just needed some big wins?
No, we did talk about making. We had to make some explosive plays. We had to get our engine revved up. And Mike did, and there's a lot of guys did, and of course Traylon did, but Felipe threw them, and the line protected it. But we needed something momentum-wise, some kind of big play to get us kind of going, and it seemed like there were several of them, just boom, 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 and even some decent runs in there had some good yardage on them as well, and so no, I think it was just us calling our offense, but Kendall. Guys, Kendall's a really good offensive coordinator. I mean, everybody can sit around at home and say, "Oh, I wouldn't have called this." Well, he wouldn't either if he'd known it wasn't going to work. But the guy's an incredible offensive coordinator, and I'm damn happy that he's the offensive coordinator here at Arkansas.
Bob.
Sam, what'd you think of Felipe's game overall? And he's done pretty well against the Vols. He's 3-0 against them. Is that anything you guys looked back at or took into consideration? Just what do you think of his play, especially in that third quarter?
Well, we count on Felipe. He's our guy, and I'm glad that he's done well against Tennessee. And he's a tough guy. He did some things with his legs again. He made some key runs in there. I think a couple of them, one at least, was on third down that he ran down the middle of the field, and he was banged up and played. And he's our leader, and he's our bell cow, or however you want to say it. And he had another really good ball game and took care of the football, had the one fumble, but we recovered it.
Trey Biddy.
Coach, I was curious about the defensive stands in the second half. It seemed like they were just running at will at the first half. What adjustments were made at halftime?
Well, like I said, I think we put some guys a little bit more on the edge. We were a little tighter for the cutback lane. Barry switched it up and probably ran a little bit more field pressure. He had been running some boundary pressure, and we played a lot of 4 and 3 man line, just like we did in the first half. But our kids really, they kind of had them figured out. They kind of, the double teams and the single blocks and all this kind of stuff. They'd kind of figured out how to beat them there at the end of the second quarter. And I just think they were really confident going out and that we could get it done.
Trey Shack.
Coach, how big was it to have Hudson Henry play through what looked like some obvious pain, specifically there in the third quarter, to be able to stay in when you guys were trying to go quick?
Yeah, that was big, that, we didn't want him to come out, but we also didn't want him to get hurt. It was kind of a fine line in there. And we figured if we could score, he could come out. He's not on the PAT team. So we was trying to wait to get him out for scoring.
Ty.
Was that me, Kyle?
Ty.
Yeah, Todd. Coach, just with Felipe's play tonight, made a lot of downfield throws, 75%. What did you see from him just on his downfield throws tonight, 30, 40-plus yards?
He's a good – he throws a long, deep ball well, he does. And he throws it, with the right amount of speed, accuracy. He can lob it. He can drill one. I mean, he's got an incredible strength on his arm. But that's what he does well. He'll throw that little slant route well too. But he's really good at throwing a deep ball and showed it again tonight.
Dorian.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering if you could touch on the play of Blake Kern tonight. Had a couple of big catches for you, his first career touchdown, and just the evolution of his play as a pass catcher and what he means to your offense.
Yeah, isn't that something? I mean, he really done well this year. I don't know what he did last year and all that stuff, but the guy's valuable. I mean, to think that he probably didn't play much before, they must have some really, really good tight ends, but he's really got a lot of value. His blocking's getting better. He can catch the football, and he runs pretty well with it when he catches it. So very, very proud of him.
Tom.
Sam, what was the locker room scene like, and did you get to reel off turn on the damn jukebox line on them again?
Locker room was kind of morbid, nobody was excited. Let's see. The locker room was fun. That's why you coach. You want those moments. You want that time. You want to be with your kids and see their faces. That's one of the reasons why you coach. It's awesome. And did we turn the jukebox on? Absolutely.
Let me know if you got more in the chat. Hutch.
Yeah, Coach, what gave you the confidence to trot Reed out there for the 48-yarder after missed a couple of those last week, then also missed the short one earlier in the game?
Because I knew he'd make it. If you give up on a kicker, you might as well just go for it all the time. And I told him, I said, hey, I got the ultimate confidence in you, and I know you're going to make the next one. And he did. It was huge, by the way, putting us up 11. But I've got confidence in him because I see him every day at practice. And I'm sure he appreciates that. But I appreciate him. He did a nice job.
Bob.
Sam, I figured you guys would probably get a pick tonight. I don't necessarily think I would have picked Eric Gregory. What'd you think of the big guy getting a pick there? Those hands.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know he got a pick, but since he did, I'm really happy, and he's got really good hands. I don't know. I didn't know he got a pick, but I'm glad he did.
It was on that 4th down play.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad he did. Did he return it much at all, or?
Well, no, he kind of caught it and then fell down. But I mean, he got a pick.
I'm glad he did. We'll mention it to Monday in our good, bad, and ugly. Hopefully, it'll be on the good.
Tom, did you have one more?
Yeah, the play that Burks caught for the touchdown, was he the first option? I mean, how did that play develop?
No, he saw Felipe scramble, and he had scramble rules. We had one low, one high, one in the middle, and he ran. Everybody hitting the sideline, and he ran across the field, hitting that middle of the low, middle, high. That's scramble rules, and Felipe saw him, threw it to him, and he did the rest.
Last one, Ty.
Sam, you mentioned the excitement in the locker room. Do you remember the song came on after you say turn that damn jukebox on?
I do not. I don't know. It was so loud in there. I have no idea what it was. Sorry.